تسر أسارير وجه صبيح تسر أسارير وجه صبيح سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح تنهدى يا صاحي كي تستريح وبث الدعاء الخفي الصريح يسعك الفضاء الرحيب الفسيح سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح.
This is Ramadan recipe number 2 where I'm going to show you how to make tiramisu. I promise I didn't mean for that to rhyme. Start by adding a full tub of double cream to a bowl and whisk that until it's like this consistency. Then add a full tub of mascarpone as well as some vanilla extract. Add 2 spoons of sugar, this can be white, castor, icing sugar, and fold that in. The consistency should be like this so it doesn't fall off the spoon. Then get your sponge fingers, I got mine from Asda, and soak them in your coffee mix. The coffee mix is just instant coffee, sugar if you want to add it, and boiling water. Dip your finger in the coffee and don't leave it for too long, otherwise it will break. And if you love coffee as much as I do, once you've layered all of the sponge fingers, just pour a bit of extra coffee before you add your cream. And when you add your cream, you want to smooth it over and repeat the same process till your fingers and your cream are done. I managed to get 2 layers, and then the last layer should be cream. Once that's all done, put it in the fridge for 24 hours, and then the next day, before you serve it, make sure you dust it over with some cocoa powder. And that is the easiest tiramisu recipe you're ever gonna find.
شغوف إلى ربه أحب رضاه أحب لقاه يظل يجيء إلى ربوة قرار ويسمو وذا مبتغى فلا لهو يغني عن سيره ولا جمع مال تغى الشهوى إذا ما ينادي منادي الفلاح تراه لذاك يحوث خطاه تراه لذاك يحوث خطاه جمال الوجود بذكر الإله وتصفو الحياة.
This is Ramadan Recipes. Today we're making Big Mac spring rolls, complete with a Big Mac sauce. Yes, you heard correctly, these Big Mac spring rolls are just as delicious and addictive as they sound. Start by frying an onion until it's softened, then add 500 grams of minced beef. Season generously with salt and pepper, then cook all the way through until it's brown all over. Then set this aside and let it cool. Earlier this year I made Big Mac puff pastries which you guys loved. It's pinned to the top of my TikTok. Okay, now for the Big Mac sauce. Mix together about 1 cup of mayo, a teaspoon of mustard, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, optional chili sauce, then diced pickles and finely diced onions. Set that aside whilst we assemble the spring rolls. So grab your plastic burger cheese. I don't know if I'm the only one, but we were not allowed to eat this cheese when we were younger. Then a few spoonfuls of the keema and a dollop of the sauce on top. Now just follow along and watch how I roll these. Kind of similar to a burrito. You want to make sure you tuck the sides in. Make sure it's sealed and tight all the way through because we don't want the cheese to be leaking out. Dab a little water at the end to seal that in. And there you have your spring roll. Now lay them out on a baking sheet and we're going to bake these in the oven actually. If you're still deep frying your samosa and spring rolls, then you need to stop because this is a way healthier method. And you can also cook like 20 of them in a row. Now you saw them here first. I promise you will love these. Give it a go.
Wow. This single serve brownie is unbelievably fudgy, gooey, and delicious. It's so good. Start with 1.5 tablespoons of butter and 20 grams of dark chocolate. Microwave in 10-second increments until these are melted and warm. Add in 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder and whisk until combined. In a separate little bowl, take 1 large egg, lightly whisk it to break it down, and then take 1 tablespoon, which is about 1/4 of the egg, and add it to the brownie batter. Now add 1.5 tablespoons of granulated sugar and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. We're gonna whisk this for a good 30 seconds. 1 tablespoon of flour, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Gently fold until just combined. And lastly, add in a little bit of chopped milk chocolate. I'm gonna bake in this mini loaf pan, but you guys can also use a large ramekin. Pour in the brownie batter and it's time to bake. And with that, we are ready to enjoy this beautiful brownie. so gooey.
This is my attempt at recreating the Greggs pizza. Let me show you how to make it. Start with 500 grams of plain flour. In a bowl of warm water, about 3 tablespoons, add 14 grams of yeast. Mix that up until it's like a thick paste-like consistency and add that to your flour. Then add about a teaspoon of salt and gradually add warm water until it forms a dough. Add 2 tablespoons of oil and knead the dough until it's soft. Cover the dough with either cling film or a tea towel and wait for it to double in size. Whilst you wait, you can start on the sauce. So, to 3 tablespoons of oil, add a diced onion and let that brown. My pan is from this brand on TikTok shop. I'll link the product. I love this pan because it picks up heat very quickly so you don't have to wait around. Add a can of tinned tomatoes and let that cook on a medium heat for about 5 minutes. Then add 2 tablespoons of tomato puree and mix that up. Then add a tablespoon of oregano, a tablespoon of black pepper, and 2 teaspoons of sugar. Mix that all up so it's all combined and add a tiny bit of water as well to loosen the mixture. Set that aside to cool and your dough should be ready. Cover your surface and take the dough out. The dough makes about 5 large pizzas. Roll them into balls and then we're going to shape them. Try and get that square rectangular shape that Greggs has. Then add your sauce onto the dough, and Greggs is known for 3 cheese pizzas, so I'm using red Leicester, Gouda and mozzarella. Load them onto the pizza and go heavy with it, and they should look like this. Bake them in the oven at 230 degrees Celsius for about 10 to 12 minutes. Let them cool and that is your Greggs pizza. Make sure you try this recipe out and let me know if it tasted as good as Greggs.
If you've tried any of our single serve cookies before, then you'll know that this one is definitely one to give a try. This is our single serve toasted tahini s'mores cookie. It is super chewy and fudgy with a perfect pillowy marshmallowy center and is quite literally my dream cookie. It starts by mixing the wet and the dry ingredients together, then adding the toasted sesame seeds. This helps give it a toasted marshmallow flavor that we all know and love in a good s'mores cookie. And of course, like all our other single serve cookies, this recipe makes 2 cookies. Trust me, you're going to be grateful for that. Cookie dough up in some more toasted sesame seeds and flatten them because they don't flatten out in the oven. And you're done. I topped mine with some more marshmallow fluff when they came out the oven and it was just perfect.
Ramadan, 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 ya Habib. Ramadan, Ramadan, ليتك دوما قريب.